Good morning. It's the second morning in the Simpson Desert. Actually, no. This is the first morning I woke up in Simpson Desert. I woke up early, like always, so I just started driving. I thought that's different, you know. Do a night run through the Simpson Desert on the French line. There was a group here last night that was stuck here for probably, I don't know, an hour and a half, 2 hours, just a little bit further up. So I'm curious to see as to what they were stuck on. I think that it was tyre pressures. They had the wrong ones, but we'll see, because I've been crawling through everything, haven't had an issue. So interested to see where they would have gotten stuck, because I could hear them on the CB. That's why I know they were stuck for a while. I think I mentioned it last night actually. So it'll be good to see. Had a fantastic night's sleep. It wasn't that cold actually. It's 8 degrees, so not that bad. I'm going to drive on the French line today for probably most of the day. And then I'll decide if I'm going to stay on the French or do a bit of WA line, do the rig track. I'm not quite sure yet. Just going to take it as it comes. I'm waiting for sunrise also. So when I see the sun coming up, I'll probably pull over on top of a dune somewhere and sit back and watch it. Maybe show you guys as well, film it, see how the desert changes colours as the sun comes up. But I think we're still probably half an hour, 45 minutes away from that, so plenty of time to go. Anyway, keep driving for now. Catch you soon. Okay, just saw a dingo. I'm hoping that I can get up to him. Stay there, dingo. Let me get another photo. Still driving on the French line. I think we're kind of halfway in between, or roughly, nearly halfway between, I think it was called the Knowles track and the Colson track. So the French line now is getting easier. First part of the French line, I was in first gear high range practically the whole time. Now I'm in second gear high range, even going up dunes, not a problem. Quite easily, like even drops down to 1000 RPM, 900 RPM. I've still got the torque to get me up and over. It's only when they're dug out and the car starts bouncing that I don't want to go too quickly, because Peter at the Birdsville Roadhouse said that one of the most common failures he sees is cracked chassis. Not so much the cruisers, but a lot of the smaller dual cabs, he said. But he also has seen these, just very rare. What else? What time is it? 12:30. The car's saying it's 12 degrees outside. The sun's out, but you know what? I've got the air conditioning on in here. Now, I don't know if that's reading wrong because it's covered in mud. The car's covered in mud, dirt, and everything. or if it actually is that fresh outside. Whenever I put the window down today, sand just blows straight in. So that's why I've got the window up, but I've had to put the aircon on because it gets very hot in here. What else? Oh, I had a pimple under my nose. It probably looked like a booger in the camera before, but it wasn't a booger, it was a pimple. So that's gone. Yeah, that's gone. Plan for today is just to keep driving. I start my days early because I'm by myself, and the rooftop tent just packs up so easily that I just hit the road and start driving. So, see how we go. Normally you take 3-4 nights on the Simpson to cross it. I reckon I'll probably spend 2 nights in the desert. But, see how we go. That kind of gives me 2 comfortable days at Dalhousie Springs to relax in the artesian springs there, so see how we go. Take it as it comes. There was no real plan for this trip, so whatever happens, happens. I like these types of trips. Not bad at all. I recommend them. This is the first one I've needed to have a second go at. So let's try it again in first high, and we'll see how we go, and then I might need to go to low range. First high did it. Just a little bit more momentum. But that is the first one that I've had to have a second go at. I've just spotted another dingo, so I thought I'd get the other camera out, so at least I can zoom in on it. I've seen footprints in the right tyre tracks for a while now. See, there it is. Get down here. There he is. Let's drive up a little bit. See if I can see him. So as I was saying, I've been seeing footprints in the right tyre tracks, exactly where he is now, for a fair while now. When I mean a fair while, I mean, I don't know, at least 15 kilometres. I'm wondering, you know, which dingo made this? Like he's waiting for me to go up. Oh. And can't see that. Sorry, driving as well as videoing. And that's where it's just been. The right tyre tracks for a fair while.
Just looking back to see we're still following. Yep, we're following you, mate. Now it's pulling off the track, letting us pass. Colson track, 53 kilometers, Dalhousie 190. 53, 20, 26.
When I lifted up the drone just to get you that last aerial footage, I set it up on the bonnet to let it take off from the bonnet, just because obviously there's sand everywhere and I don't want sand flying into the motors. Well, you need to be a bit more careful, George. When I had on the bonnet, as soon as the motor started, the thing started falling off, so I went and grabbed it and kind of nicked my finger there a little bit, got me there a little bit. There's a few lumps there. Here, chopped off a bit of my nail, a bit of blood under it, bruised. Look, can always be much worse. That's all that happens. I'm happy with that. But just be careful, especially when you're by yourself. Like, things can go wrong very, very easily. And it doesn't take much. Like getting your drone out. So this is the second day now on the Simpson. On the French line now, so still haven't decided exactly the whole route I'm going to take. So start on the QAA, went to Paul's Corner, now we're on the French. I met some people on motorbikes coming the other way, so they were coming from west to east, where I'm heading from east to west, and they told me and yeah, they said, look, they went the Rig Road, then they did a bit of the WAA line, then the French line, and they said that it was a good mix. But then I met other people travelling in the same way in four-wheel drives, and they said that the Rig Road's just boring, there's no sand, it's all clay. So I haven't decided which way I'm going to go. Probably drive for most of today on the French, probably all of today on the French, and then when I stop, decide then. Maybe. That's the plan. I hope you're hearing me right. I've got a microphone set up and that on the GoPro inside the cab. I'm hoping that it sounds better. If not, we're in trouble because it's all been filmed like this. Oh well. Crossing another clay pan, clay lake, salt lake, whatever it's called. Salt lake, that's the word I was looking for. They're just beautiful. It's a nice diversity in the Simpson Desert. You cross so many different terrains. Keeps it interesting. Made it to the Colson Track intersection. I was going to camp here, but it's too windy, so we'll continue on a little bit and see where we end up. Okay, I found camp for the second night. Again on top of a dune. It is a little bit windy, but I think the views are worth it. Let me flick you around. Have a look at that. It's beautiful. And the wind seems to be dying down a little bit, so hopefully it dies down completely. Last night it died down a fair bit at night. Now, let me set up camp. And that's how easy it is. Beautiful. So far, loving this tent. Loving it. So easy to put up and down. Just the ladder's a bit funny because it's on sand and it keeps moving. So just have to fix that up and clip it in up the top and we're done. How perfect is this? Sunset. All set up. Having nibblies. Fantastic. Does it get any better? Right in the Simpson Desert? I don't know. Brilliant. Just watched the most beautiful sunset. This really isn't doing it justice. I don't know how to fix it, if there is a way of fixing it. But I have done a time-lapse video of it, so you can see. Let's see.
Ooh. No. I didn't want to turn on a light so you couldn't see, but hold on a second. Okay, the sunset was spectacular. It was so beautiful. I've just had a shower, a nice warm shower. That, I don't know, for anyone that's had a hot shower, when you're out cold, covered in whatever, sand in this case, you'll understand what I mean. It was beautiful. Now I'm just going to get the fire going and relax a little bit. Yeah, sounds like a plan. This Gidgee wood burns really, really, really well. Like, I've only got a few little bits and pieces on it, but there's a lot of heat coming out of it. Oh, let me go around. Yeah, there's a lot of heat coming out of it, sitting next to it, and it burns. It's like it burns ferociously. It's a very good wood. I've got a whole pile over here which you can't really see, but just gonna lounge back, relax a little bit. Got my moon chair over there, my little footrest. Can't really see there. No. But ready to go to bed when I feel like it. Can you see me? There we go. Fire lit. Now, what was I going to say? Oh, there's no moon out today. Last night, I think, or the night before, there was a full moon, and it was really, really bright. So I couldn't see that many stars. So far, there's no moon. So the stars already are looking spectacular, but it's still early. So I'll wait maybe another half an hour, and I'm assuming I'm going to see probably the best sky I've seen in my life so far. I hope. See how we go. Anyway, I'm going to say good night now, because I'm just going to relax for another half an hour or so, have a look at the sky, and go to bed. Good night. See you in the morning.
Good morning. It's day 3 in the Simpson. Second morning I've woken up in the Simpson. It is -1 at 5:30 in the morning. I'm normally an early riser, but now that I've been going to bed early as well, because I've just been sitting around the fire, but then I go to bed, I get up really early, and there's no point in really hanging around. I just start driving. This one's excuse me. This one's the coldest morning I've had so far in the desert. But all good. The tent handled it well. I did have to zip it up last night. I've been sleeping, even in the desert, the night before last, with one of the sides open so I could look out, and I didn't find it too cold. But last night had to zip up the whole tent. It did get fresh, and then I was fine. What else? Low range third gear now, especially because this side the dunes are a little bit larger. They're more chopped out. It's more comfortable in low range third gear. The other side, as I said, I was in high range first. You know, maybe not the best thing for the clutch, but it was doing everything easily. There was only a few times that I had to give it to it, so we should be right. But now low range third gear is perfect, and I don't have much to go. I think I've only got about 50 k's to Purni Bore, and I'm not quite sure exactly where the dunes end, but I think it's at the intersection of the WAA line, which is about 25 odd Ks. So, Blue V in hand. Haven't seen that for a little while, but I have been drinking one every day. A bit of a long tune. Oi, oi, oi. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They are fun. This is a perfect example of the hills on this side. Now what we have here is obviously a camper trailer, homemade job, that didn't make it. Don't know which way they were heading, but I'd probably assume it was west to east, because I don't know, 25, 30, about 30 k's in, and just fell to pieces. And you can see all the beer bottles and cans and that right next to it. Pigs. What a perfect spot. To finish a Simpson Desert crossing. Absolutely beautiful. Good morning. It's -3 degrees out here at the moment. It gets very chilly. It gets very chilly. Even though the days I had the air conditioning on, now a heater. Although I do start early in the morning. I'm just at the intersection here of the WAA line. And I think I'm about 30 kilometres from Purni Bore. So it'll be on to Dalhousie Springs today. Go there, have a bit of a dip. So far the car's handled everything beautifully. Couldn't have hoped for it to go any better. Bit of the mud. Oh. Bit of the mud's come off. Beautiful. Self-cleaning. The car itself is a little bit muddy. She's due for a clean. But she loves it. Now before, I think I said that the WA line and the French line intersection was actually the Rig Road and the French line intersection. So I've just passed that, heading towards Dalhousie Springs or Purni Bore, whichever one, Purni Bore's first. And after that intersection, the road has changed. I was in third gear low range. I've gone back into high range, and I'm staying in probably second and third gears. Comfortably sitting now. I'm in third gear high range and doing 40 k's an hour. So I think all the slow going sand dune driving, still crossing sand dunes, but they're much smaller and they're not dug out like they were in the desert. So from here on, I think it's going to be much faster going than before. Whereas through the desert, near the end there when I started calculating, I was doing about 18 kilometers per hour. So it was slow going. Up to that intersection, say the French Road and the Rig Road, I've still got just over half a tank of petrol. So plenty of fuel left. That one was a little bit chopped out. It's probably the worst one I've seen since the intersection. Now I do have the 180 litre Long Ranger fuel tank, diesel tank in there. So I've still got just over half. Let's keep driving. Let's have a look at Purni Bore.
Something you don't see in the middle of the Simpson Desert. 40 kilometres an hour sign. I'm now on my way to Purni Bore, which is down that track there, and there's a few more signs up there, so we'll stop there and have a look. Now officially leaving the Simpson Desert. As you can see that it's closed from the 1st of December to 15th of March for summer. It says that it can have temperatures of 40 to 50 degrees. So from here we're entering the Witjira National Park, and that's where Purni Bore is, and Dalhousie Springs. It looks like it's still sand. Let me cross that around. It looks like it's still sand, but I'd say the dunes are very different. From that intersection, just been in second, third high range, first high range over a couple of the dunes. That's just because it's chopped out. Don't want to go too quickly, but very simple. Yeah, let's go. Arrived at Purni Bore. There's amenities up there, which is fantastic. I'm going to zoom in on that for you. Yep. So there's two little buildings there. First one's a toilet, second one's a shower. It says hot and cold water, but I tested it. There was no hot water there at the moment, but who knows. Little table and chairs here, because this is also a camping ground. Okay. Purni Bore, the accidental lake. Let's go for a walk. Now, 2-3 weeks ago, look, there's a dingo. Fantastic. As I was saying a few weeks ago, someone had actually come here and turned it off because they've put a valve in it, so they're wasting too much water. But because the wildlife and everything got used to the water being here, they turned it down just to a trickle to actually sustain it. As you can see, all the birds. Yeah, so they turned it down to just maintain a wetland, but some moron came and turned it off, and I think that's why there's no water in it at the moment. which is a real shame to see. All of this should have had water in it, as far as I know, because out there in the distance, where are we? I don't know what's coming out in the video there. Oh, I'm in the wrong area. Maybe that's why it's not coming out. See? There's a bit of water there. So, what a shame. Okay. And this is kind of what's left of it at the moment. Now it's obviously quite warm. As you can see, the steam coming directly up off it. And there is a bit of a smell coming off it, but nothing too crazy. Now, let's go to Dalhousie Springs, where there's the thermal pools, the natural artesian pool there. Jump in and relax a little bit. Okay, the road seems to have flattened out now into nice open country, so I'm going to put some air back in the tyres. Now, thanks to my wife Josie, that's the new ARB link system. Now, what I'm going to do, target pressure, because I've got pressure off, pressure control. Now, the compressor just turned on. Hello. I have to hold it. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to 24 on the front. So I'll do that. And now what I do is, let's get out. Draw. One-handed, this isn't the easiest of things to do. Okay. Grab out one. In there. Grab out the chuck, put that end, am I filming it right? Put that end in there. Okay, now push that in a little bit. There. Under, yeah. That end of that. Okay. Put that on there. Go around to the front. Untangle the hose a little bit. Okay. Now, take off the safety Dave. Cool. sit properly. Let's try that again. I didn't clip it on properly. And no more sitting there with a gauge holding it to get the pressure. So just let it go. It stops. You hear the compressor stop. Take that off. Replace the safety Dave. And that's it. One front tyre is inflated. Now because I do front and rear at different pressures, I'll go to the other front one. And unscrew that one. Push that on. And we are done for the front ones. Now, get back inside the car, and don't mind that beeping, that's the safety Dave saying that fast leakage. So the fronts are at 24. Now I'm going to go back down here. Hold that. We'll go to 30. Go to 30 on the back because we're a little bit lower in water. And do the same to the back. And then we're done. Nice and easy. Love it. Love it so far.